Hey guys, Vol here again with another exciting game with Legion of Everblight, this time against Circle of Orboros. And it's eThagrosh again, capture the flag again, but my opponent taking Morvahna. This is the same guy I played the other month with Baldo versus Morvahna, except we're at 50 points this time. And yeah, really enjoying eThagrosh. This one's going to be much more of a challenge because Morvahna presents a real difficulty where she'll be sending her blood trackers out. Have a look at the list in the video description, by the way, and if I do attempt to kill the blood trackers but not wipe them out, then she'll bring 6 back a turn. But if I don't attempt that, then the blood trackers can obviously continue to harass me and hurt me very badly. So a lot of tactical thinking is going to be required to sort of deal with this threat, so to speak. But anyway, here's the two armies assembled. Go to the next photo showing you where the Circle army is at. He's put 2 of his heavy beasts on the right-hand flank. That's the Satyr and Wolf Stalker. He'll be taking the first turn, mind you. And of course, Morvahna herself hanging right at the back, Skinwalkers in front, and Bloodweavers to the left, not pictured, but stones and a lot of the feast up front. Some of these models not completely painted, or not painted at all, so a bit hard to sort of see them from the distance, but I'll try and refer to them if possible. Next image, my army, I've got most stuff straight bang in the middle. I want to be able to sort of use my mobility to redeploy, so to speak, in the first turn, and help me deal positionally with the enemy. You can actually see the big, medicine ball, or whatever you call it, the big bouncing ball in the background, which I'm actually sitting on for the game. But yeah, Striders up front. Striders have been picked as a prey target by the whatchamacallits, the Wolfriders, and Thagrosh is the prey target of the blood trackers. It may be the other way around. I can't quite remember, but I do know that those were the 2 prey targets in general. Next image, the Circle army has taken the first turn, and as I expected from my opponent, he's run forward with his blood trackers, and he's giving me the bait here. If I move in to attack the blood trackers, I'm going to kill them, but he's got 2 models sitting at the back right there next to the big ruin with Morvahna and the Gorax right in the background, and those ones will be impossible to kill because they're too far away. Now, the other advantage he gets if I kill the front row of guys is that he'll be able to reposition the guys before they activate in his turn, so they're not engaged. He'll be able to use his javelins to the maximum effect. He can even stand still and throw. So that's going to be really bad. So I really give him an opportunity to really mess me up if I go forward and take the bait and kill these guys here. Other than that, he's just moving cautiously up with his other troops, not committing the Lord of the Feast just yet. Next image, I decide to my plan here is just to move my Striders up, fire them at anything that isn't the blood tracker unit. For example, I think what happened, what I did here is I decided to CRA one of his shifting stones. So it doesn't seem like much of an advantage, but by doing that, I kill the stones, one of the stones, prevent him from teleporting his Lord of the Feast or anything else around, and then I can use Reform, since I've got my Strider Officer this game, to use the 3-inch move to engage the blood trackers, which I felt was a good plan because although it sacrifices my Striders to some extent, it means that A, I do something with them, I kill the stone, and I don't take the bait that he set for me, which is to actually kill the blood trackers this turn, and I give myself a chance to do some damage to the rest of his army and deny him the chance to do a lot of damage to me. If you go to the next image, I have used Reform to get into base-to-base with as many blood trackers as I can with the Striders. I've cast Dragon's Blood on them with Thagrosh, meaning that if he attacks me immediately, and he'll have to with his blood trackers given their position, and I roll a 5 or a 6, it will kill the blood tracker attacking me, so that will actually make life easier for me if I decide to wipe out all of the blood trackers next turn. But at any rate, the Beast's moving up a little bit, Strider's moving up a little bit, Raptors moving up a little bit, and picking off what I can. I think I've cracked a few shots off at his Skinwalkers from long range with poisoned arrows, but not really doing a lot of damage at this stage. Really waiting to see what he does in his turn, but I know that I'm vulnerable, and I know that it's going to be a hard matchup with Morvahna's abilities in general. Next image, he attempts to charge my Strider with his Reeve Hunter solo, and I quite like this photo because his charge was out of range, but the photography is quite cool. It almost is like a diorama really, with the guy point blank crossbowing the Strider, but ironically not being able to use his attack due to the failed charge. So that was quite a good little moment in the game. Next image, my opponent has popped Morvahna's feat, which means that every melee attack that kills one of my infantry models, essentially, or one of my models in general, will create a small forest, which will do a power 12 hit on any of my guys that are in it. So he's using this feat to clear out my guys and lay down some forests, but as expected, I expected him to do a lot of damage here. He's committed his Skinwalkers, which will give me an opportunity to actually attack them and kill them and get them out of the way, but he hasn't committed any of his heavy beasts. Going to the next image, you're looking at my responding turn now, because all he did in his turn was to wipe out most of the Striders and not much else. So in my turn, what I really wanted to do here was kill all of his blood trackers in one round, because I noticed that he had left his blood trackers, or at least the furthest away of them was right in front of the wall there, next to Morvahna in the background. You could actually see it if you look carefully next to the black painted, black undercoated Gnarlhorn Satyr next to the fence. There's a blood tracker leader there, so I thought very hard about this turn. I was just agonizing over it, but I looked through all of the activations that I possibly could pull off, and I realized that if I sent my warbeast in a long-range assassination attempt, not in his caster so much, but the blood tracker leader, I could do it. Because the beasts have got eyeless sight, they ignore stealth, but it meant I would actually have to boost a hit and in some cases, put my guys in danger. But I used Thagrosh's feat here, and the way I read the Thagrosh's feat card, it seems to me that you can actually move your beasts back with their free advance and decide not to use your attack, so that might be the best way to go here. Typhon moving up, spraying blood trackers left and right, Striders and Raptors shooting at them, and I managed to kill all of them except for Nuala. Going to the next photo, here's me using up almost all of my activations here, and at this point he's really only got Nuala left right far in the background, and we had a bit of a rules discussion here and came to the conclusion that Nuala counts as part of the unit. I played a game with myself with Morvahna a while ago, and my opponent killed Nuala and said that I couldn't regrow her back, which sounds fair because she's a UA, but it does work the other way around. If you've got Nuala and the rest of the unit's dead, made a couple of phone calls to some friends who are knowledgeable with the rules and decided to play on that I had to kill Nuala. So this is a big disadvantage of me. If I don't get rid of her, that's just really bad news. But I realized that I could actually use Thagrosh's activation to go, and he has eyeless sight, and that enabled him to, I believe, cast the spell on a model that I put next to Nuala, and I managed to take her out. If you go to the next photo, you can see how that worked. I've got a Raptor up in the middle of that triangular sort of formation of cloud or forest effects in the middle of the field where he had feeded. Thagrosh has moved up 5 inches. He's cast, I believe, some sort of area of effect 3 spell on the Raptor in the back with a boost hit, so that it would clip Nuala and I could boost damage on her and kill her. Can't remember whether that was the Scourge or whatever, but it ended up resulting in the death of Nuala. So I've achieved something really important here. Even though I've made myself a bit vulnerable and I've only killed blood trackers, it means that he can't regrow his blood trackers, so I'm a step ahead. Unfortunately, it does mean he does have a backup unit of Bloodweavers to try that on, but they'll be less significant than the blood trackers were because of prey, and they're just the opportunity to regrow and then throw javelins with a Weapon Master attack. And the fact that there are more of them there, but I feel like I succeeded with something here. I did, put a lot of effort into this turn, but managed to get what I wanted, which is important. Next image, here's Wolfriders moving around to get shots off on my remaining Striders and Raptors. I've got a Spell Martyr out here, which I'd placed to engage some of the Wolfriders just to get a couple of free strikes, knowing that he wouldn't bother killing my Spell Martyr, and if he did, that would mean a wasted activation for one of his Wolfriders. And of course, seeing that he hasn't done that, I get to use the Spell Martyr later in the game for a possible sneaky channeling spell. Next image, really losing a fair bit of guys here. I've tried to counterattack and kill the Lord of Feast and his Reeve Hunter, but a lot of my activations missing their mark, which is unfortunate. I've also got to take out these 2 Skinwalkers in the background there, because he's, I believe, hung around with them a little bit. He's got that spell which gives them +2 armor and restoration or something like that. So that'll be kind of annoying to deal with as well. Next image, just a bit of a zoom out overview here. He's got his Reeve Hunter and Lord of the Feast in the middle of the field. I'm basically looking at ways to basically pick off his guys here and take minimal casualties back, because he seems to be having a slight lead here with picking my guys off. He's wiped out almost all of my Striders now. I'm down to just one Raptor left. I've got Annyssa Ryvaal, but he's got a lot of troops left, and Morvahna being quite a powerful caster, and me nowhere near the enemy objective, looks like he's got lots of